All right. Greetings. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ann Sieg, and I am wanting to make certain that this shows up on Facebook. Okay, it looks like it did. All right. I always start a couple minutes early just to let everybody find their way into today's Voice of E-commerce. So again, Ann Sieg here, broadcasting from Bella Vista, Arkansas, the Voice of E-commerce, which is the broadcasting arm of the e-commerce business school. All right, just gonna wait. We're letting folks roll in. Speaking of the e-commerce business school, I've got my e-commerce business school mug. No coffee in here. Nope, listen carefully what's in here. Husband had this huge root on our counter about this big. I said, oh, is that turmeric? And he said, no, that's ginger root. So he just cooked up the ginger root, and I have ginger root juice, homemade, freshly homemade. All right, folks, it is 12 o'clock. We're going to get started. Hey, greetings, everybody. It is Ann Sieg with the Voice of E-commerce, which is the broadcasting arm of the e-commerce business school. And our goal is to display to the public that we are real people who have a go-giving community that supports and empowers each other. So I'm thrilled to have you here. And with that, let's take your business to the next level with this edition of the Voice of E-commerce. All right, got to let you know straight out of the gate, make sure you type in "add me" in the comments section to receive future Voice of E-commerce broadcast notifications. Just write in "add me." We do many, many, many interviews. Today is not an interview. Rather, this is something very, very special. As you all know, next Monday is Memorial Day, where we celebrate, we honor, and we remember our veterans and everyone who has served for our country. I think we lose sight of this. And I don't want to wax big on this whole topic, but it is really important that we commemorate and we remember. And when we forget, that is when we lose our moorings, our foundation of who we are as a country. So Memorial Day is very special. And I know for a lot of people that go, yeah, it's special because I get another day off, and man, it's a 3-day weekend and I'm just going to go party and go on picnics and have fun, etc. And that is a part of it, but really Memorial Day is there to commemorate people. I just heard from a professor who said most of history is written because of wars. And we know when we no longer study and remember wars, that is when we have a greater propensity to repeat wars. So obviously the message being that we want to avoid war, but human nature being what it is, that's where we often land. So, all right, so we're going to go through something very special today, something we've never done at this deep a level. And so I'm going to introduce you to a very special member of our e-commerce business school community, and that is Terry Safford that you see here on my screen. She's not with us, but she may be listening and watching. All right, so this is about Sharon and her family, specifically her husband, Terry. So Sharon has become a very dedicated member of our community, especially as she joined our e-commerce master's program. So let me make this distinction very clear. We have people who have come in through our different, what we call front-end programs, a starter course, such as Shop Your Way to Wealth, Book Flipping Profit System, that teach people how to get into a cash flow business. But we progress into more advanced training. E-commerce master's program is a cornerstone where people stretch to a completely different level to now you're really growing up into that full business owner role. And so we have so much more training that helps support the developing entrepreneur. And that's a big hallmark of the e-commerce master's program. So she came to a workshop like so many other folks. I noted her. She was very studious, very asking questions. I thought, whoa, we got a live one here. And really took note of her. And then it was shortly after that. In fact, it might have been at that event that she then upgraded into our e-commerce master's program. So I want to just make that little note. So Sharon has attended nearly every event we've hosted since she joined the EBS community. So this is Sharon here. And I was trying to find my logo last night, and this is from the Sourcing China workshop held at ASD Market Week, which is the largest consumer goods trade show in the US. We had 14 workshops and presentations. This was one of our workshops, was on Sourcing China. So she's developed incredible friendships through our EMP Mastermind group. Again, that's the e-commerce master's program, and has the highest track record for reporting in with her EOD and accountability reports. Now, EOD stands for end of day. It's a tool, a tracking tool that we have in our back office for our members so that they can monitor their progress. Here's something interesting. She works for H&R Block, meaning she works with numbers, right? So she's working with numbers, and so she gets really intrigued about the numbers, and hence her love for the EOD report. And then there's accountability reports as well that are part of the e-commerce master's program. And I review those every single week with a video and give really high-level business advice in those reports. Sharon has been doing this more faithfully than any member I know, doing both EOD and accountability. Now, what is most striking about this is she has done them even more faithfully in the last 3 weeks. And you'll see why I find that so incredible and amazing, and my biggest takeaway from that. So stick with me while I share with you, that ability for her to really stay on task with that. Here she is receiving an award, and it might have been for Rising Star Award, I think is what it was. Anyway, so I just did my accountability reports on, what was it, late Monday, I think I did this. And, she's tracking. She's tracking. How many merchant fulfilled orders did she ship out? And she's got everything detailed. And so she has all this marvelous data as a result of utilizing the tools in our back office. And so just this past week, she won our weekly RPD award, which was given at the e-commerce master's program level. And I know you're going to think it's quirky and odd, but it's okay. RPD stands for Renegade Personality Disorder. And that comes from my initial brand from 10, 12 years ago, was my book, The Renegade. And it means an all-out person. You just go all out. That's what RPD stands for. If any of you've never heard of this, and we have our tribal language, and this is one of our tribal language words is RPD. So as you know, by the way, I just want to double check and make sure I'm showing up right now. Coach Kurt, if you're watching, could you text me? I don't see it on my page yet, but could you text me and let me know, or Lisa, anyone who might be watching? I don't see it on that I've shown up. Is this live, guys? Somebody let me know. Text me or private message me. Okay. All righty. So I hope this is showing up. So as you know, many of our members bring their spouses into the e-commerce business with them, and especially once they see the money start rolling in. So we've seen it where there's a husband and wife teams, and then before you know it, we see a daughter is brought in, and then a mother is brought in, or a mother-in-law, and it just goes down the family tree. That's because this is where we make money. Our foundational courses, you can't not make money. If you're going through the training, it's impossible. If you're getting into action and following our training, it's impossible for you not to make money. All to say, so we have a lot of people who do this. So Sharon's husband, Terry, has been a huge supporter of her business efforts, much like mine was when I got going in the e-commerce space. And we know, for those of you who are married, that's an incredible blessing when you have the support of a spouse, right? Because it's not much fun when you don't have the support of a spouse, and it's wearing on your Okay, someone is messaging, so I think they're letting me know that I am in fact live. Hope that's the case. Good. Okay. So Sharon has been very, very blessed with a very supportive husband. So rather than having to do battle with a husband that's pulling her down, he was pushing her up and lifting her up in her efforts. So Terry and Sharon met in Tan Son Nhut, I'm not saying that correctly, Air Base in Saigon during the Vietnam War, and have been married 47 years. And that is testament of a long and loving marriage. Not only the 47 years, but we met them, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment here. So here they are. We had the privilege of meeting Terry. Whew. At our first, oh golly, this is a little tough. At our first ever Ultimate Business Lifestyle Retreat. So this was in Colorado, Estes Park, last June. And it was our first ever Ultimate Business Lifestyle Retreat. And we did this for the main focus. I told my team, my staff, I said, you know what? I want us to have an event that's focused entirely on the entrepreneur. So goes the entrepreneur, so goes the business. So let's have an event where we just really focus on the person. So rather than this how-to technical workshop, we're going to focus on the person. And of course, with this particular event, it was very, very amenable to bring your spouse. Yes, please, we're crying out loud, bring your spouse, right? Because here we want to shore up the family aspect. So I'm just going to share with you some photos from that event. It was absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. As you can see, the crystal blue skies. And this is Terry, and this is Sharon. And we did some of our training outside. We also had a really fun interactive exercise, and Terry was in my group. And we had to find pine cones. There was a segment where we were blindfolded and had to rely on the trust of other members to help guide us for what would be this group project to create something and bring it to the group. So specifically, we were working on team building exercises, which is very integral to having a successful business. So there he is with this blindfold on and being led by his guides, right? This is Terry to the right. This is one of our attendees, two of our attendees to the left, and they were making a creation. I don't remember the details of it, but I tell you, the members got so glued in and bonded with the fellow members as a result of these exercises. It was really fun. And this is a final picture of our group that we had there. So here's Sharon, and there's her wonderful husband, Terry. So that's coming up on a year ago. It was middle of June. Whew. So, oh my goodness. Terry passed away just this past month on May 3rd, which is my youngest son's birthday. So it is with much love we pay our respects to Terry, both as Sharon's loving husband and as a staff meteorologist for the United States Air Force. He will be loved and missed. And so I want to thank Sharon for her commitment here in the community. Her commitment to her business is incredible. And for her sharing Terry with us. And then we got to meet her husband. And we feel that way about all the spouses, all the family members that are brought in, because we are a family here. And so my hat's off to Sharon. I said I would loop back and mention about the EOD. She kept plowing through those every single day. I had that screenshot with 7 EODs in the past week. She sends in her accountability report, super detailed. And my takeaway and my observation, as I shared in my video review with my e-commerce master's program members, is this is her sense of stability. Is something can stay the same. And that's what people look for at a time of loss, is where can I still have a sense of stability? And it can be in the smallest little things that others would just think that's ridiculous. But this is what being in the e-commerce business school has done for Sharon and to help her move through this challenging time. Plus, she has some really, really good friends here. So at the E-commerce Business School, we have a firm belief in the foundation of the family for the stability and growth of our country. And we want to do everything we can to help and support our EBS families. I'm testament of it. My family business. My youngest son works with us full time right now. All of my sons have worked with me. My eldest son was my business partner for 10 years. We have a firm belief in the foundation of the family. So we are praying for a blessed, I'm such a sap, guys, Memorial Day and a time of reflection and thankfulness. That on the right is my father-in-law, Robert F. Sieg. Our middle son, Robert, who is the one who lives in China, was named after him, except he's Robert M. Sieg. When I was pregnant, my father-in-law said, well, whatever you do, don't name him after me. I said, I gave him a look and he's like, and I could tell he was very honored. And so he passed away when Robert was just a little baby, very, very tragically. He was a World War II vet and Korean War. And we found out subsequently after he had passed away what a horrific impact it had on his life. He enlisted early and he was 17 years old when he went off. And that's a whole nother story of Robert doing some research here that's last December. But anyways, there we are at his grave at Fort Snelling Memorial there, and that's his gravestone. So really our incredible hats off and utmost gratitude to those who served in the military, in the armed forces, and in any other way through police, etc., to serve our country, first responders. So thank you for watching and listening. It's a tough one. And, you know, that is part of our healing process, is to weep and to cry. I had a best friend who lost her husband, and I wanted to be there for her because it's we need each other in those times. So go ahead and use this page here, this post. You don't have to do it right now. You could come back over Memorial Day weekend and just share your reflections on Memorial Day, because I know a lot of you have some really profound memories, and it would mean a lot to us at the E-commerce Business School, because we are here to support you. We're here to support the family, and we want to safeguard what we have as our traditions in our country. So I'll just take a look and see if I have any comments that I can respond to. Oh, thank you, Christy. Okay, I appreciate that. So like I say, type in add me if you would like future notifications of the E-commerce Business School and our Voice of E-commerce broadcast. So thank you so much for watching and listening. God bless to Sharon and her family, especially as they head into the memorial service for Terry, which I understand is on June 2nd. All right. Thank you, everybody. God bless.